Oh, just a minute, I'll just wait for the stream to get ready. I wanted to talk about something. Right, I'm just checking my live stream's running. I think it's coming up. Right. Um, right. I've been testing some things. Now, my turbine. Um, I was doing tests for the turbine previously. I'll tell you what I've figured out. When the air is basically pressing against the turbine, what's happening is putting the air is in contact with these fins for a very short period of time. As a result, the air basically passes through and it makes a small amount of turning, not very much, and that's basically all the work it gets done, right? So really, what we need is air to be in contact with the fins for a longer period of time. Now, my centrifugal fans are very efficient. So I did some tests with the centrifugal fans, actually using them as the secondary turbine, so that pushing air in. So what happens now? We see the basic problem with the this turbine is that when this is spinning, when it's going around, right, it's spinning really fast. Air naturally wants to fly outwards. It naturally wants to fly outwards to the edge, because centrifugal forces also take place with this as well. So what's happening is less air is being driven through the blades because there's more of a vacuum in the middle and more air pressure on the edge. So I thought, I've got an idea. So I've designed this fan. So the way this works is that it makes use of a large surface area, so that when the air is pressed in, it can't get through, it can't pass directly through. So we create a pressure barrier against the actual back plate, because the air doesn't pass through. It's not transparent. Well, it is transparent, you see through. There's no hole at the back. So the air naturally will spin this. It will spin this just like one of those little toys you see kids playing with on the beach. Now the air will fly, because it's in a spiral, the air will travel along the vanes, inside the vanes, and the air pressure itself from the other centrifugal fans is compressing the air into the blades, and they can't escape from the blades until they travel all the way along the blades, and then when they exit, they give propulsion, and because they're coming out at an angle, they're pushing the fan around in a circular motion. So it's actually more efficient because the air is flying outwards anyway, and it's around the edge. So that's just some balancing I put on. I put a bit of plastic in there to balance it out. It's just a low profile amount of goop I put in there from the plastic. So I have to balance these all out, you see. The reason it's on this thing at the moment is I'm actually centering the drive shaft. So the way I'm doing it now, I'm using a back washer on the back of the fan to keep the perpendicular angle directly straight, so I use this piece of short shaft to center my pin, because some of these are a little bit wobbly now. I just want to tighten them up with a bit of plastic ABS, and I'll just wait for that to dry. Anyway, so basically having a series of these, so I've actually got these are my stators. Now when the air exits the fan, I need to stop that air from spinning, because it's been ejected at an angle, so the airflow is basically spinning around in this direction. So this basically stops the actual windbreak. So there's little fins. You can actually see there's little fins. Now these act like little mini windbreaks, so that the air comes into contact with the outside edge here, and it slows the air down. So this is a stator, but this doesn't move. So the air is redirected back towards the gap, these gaps, which is fed directly to the next fan, which is below it. So if I just stick that on top, you can see what I mean. Oh, actually, that hole's a bit small. I need to make that hole a bit bigger. I've got a few of these. Just a minute. Just a minute. How can I do this without messing everything up? It's hard to do this with one hand. I'm trying to do this and get it on camera. Oops. Now it's gone on the floor. Right. This is not easy to do with one hand. Just a minute, hang on a sec. Right, hang on. Right. Right, I'll clean the hole out because I wanted to put it on there. Right, so this stator basically sits in the canopy for the next fan below it. So when the air is slowed down by this stator, the air passes through into the next fan below it, and it gives propulsion, so it turns like this. So we have a series of these, about well, as many as possible really. I mean, there's no limit really, because the air that's been provided is provided by centrifugal fans. So the more work they do, the faster they run. So they actually produce less torque. I mean, they actually produce less load on the system. So anyway, we have a series of these. So the stator basically stops the air from spinning, so that on the next cycle it can drive another fan array. Right, so that's that. And what have we got so far? Here's the canopies. Let me just move this out of the way a minute. So there's one of my canopies with the array in it. Let's take this out. It's not easy to get it out. I've got to get it. It's a real snug fit, so it's got to come out evenly. It's a pretty tight fit. I don't want to break my fins off. Right. Trying to do this with one hand, it's really fiddly. Right, so there's my fan in there. Right. So this is just one of the stages. There's the fan. This is the back of it. Take that out. There's the front. So there's the other stage down below. So the air comes through, is pushed through, turns the blade, which turns the shaft, and they're all turning the same shaft. So the torque adds up basically. So then the air comes out, flies out the edge around the perimeter of this, around the edge of where that gap around the edge is where these little pins are that stick down. So these pins go down in there. Oops, if I can get it in straight. It's got to go in straight, otherwise I'll back them off. Just make sure I haven't damaged them. So it's got to go in nice and straight. Right, it's a nice snug fit. It's a real snug fit. This is the amount of clearance between the actual rotors and those little legs is about 2-3 millimeters, but if you get it cockeyed, they can jam up against the outside canopy. That's when, you know, they're basically pushing against the side walls of the canopy, so they've got to be dead straight. So anyway, I've done 3 of these new ones now so far. I did some earlier design, as I say, using this particular fan arrangement. Let's just take the charger off a minute, so I can show you that one. So this was the one I did with just these particular fans. And what I found out was that the amount of air required to turn that was quite a lot, and I'd need at least probably a foot to 2 feet to get this thing to turn. And I thought, well, this is not very efficient. The centrifugal fans were far more efficient, because just one centrifugal fan, just one of those, it's possible to turn it. And I don't know how I can show you that really. Have I got one handy? Let's just have a look. I don't know. I've got one in acetone soak at the moment, and they're about due to come out in a minute actually. So anyway, so these particular ones aren't very efficient because the air contact is for a short period of time between each of the blades, and there's a lot of losses. But the centrifugal fans, the air is in contact with the blades a lot longer, and it has to, for it to escape, it has to travel all the way along to the outside, and during that period of time it's actually providing propulsion to spin the fan. Right, so anyway, right, this one's been, let's see if this is set yet. I don't know. It's not set. I can't take it off yet because it's not. I'm just saying it so it's, the drive shaft will be perfectly straight. I'm using a washer on the back to keep everything perfectly in alignment with. There's a magnet on the back as well, stuck to my steel ruler. So that just basically makes sure that this is all perfectly flat, and the axis is not going to wobble. The blades are not going to wobble when they're spinning. So this is, my thing's ready. So right, okay, so I should be able to take that thing out with the other one now. Right, this is the one that I've had in acetone soak, so let's take this one out of here because it's ready. Alright, take that off. Oops, trying to get the damn thing out, it's not easy. Alright, stick that there. All nice and shiny, it's been in the gas acetone for a while. Right, so this one is a bit floppy at the moment. As you can see, it's a good bit soft because it's been in the acetone. Now let's stick this on the shaft and see. It probably wants setting up a bit better though. Let's see if I can stick it on this temporary shaft which I've got set up here. Which I used to balance things out. I'm pushing it on with my finger quite gently actually because I want to keep it centered. Oops. Right. Now look at that. That's straight. It's not far off anyway. It wants a little bit of, might want a bit of alignment, but anyway, let's see how it's balanced. It looks balanced. I drew a V on the back where it was heavy before. You can see the V there. See if it stops in a different place. I don't know. It looks balanced to me. So that's got to dry basically. Well, actually turn it the wrong way around anyway. Yeah, you see if they don't dry it evenly they can curl and warp. That's why I'm trying to Ah, that's it. It's still a bit squidgy at the moment until it dries out. I want it to dry out evenly. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is basically the air from that ordinary fan over there can turn this thing. Hang on a minute. Let me just see if I can. I don't know if I can show you that. Oh yes, I can maybe. Hang on a minute. I'll have to put you in the phone holder a minute. Just a sec. See if I can show you this. I'll switch cameras. Is it? Which one is it? That one? Oh, hang on. Right. Put you in the phone caddy in a minute. Right, hang on. Right, where's the fan? There's my fan over there, look. Now, let's get this thing off here. I've got two bearings. There's two bearings on this dry shaft. Let's put this on the other way, if I can. Oh, the back of the hull wants clearing out a bit. Right, just clear the back of that hull. And get the shaft on there. Right. This is not going on easily. Hang on, let's put it on the front first then. Just a bit of plastic wanted pushing off. It's too squidgy still. It's still drying out. Right, let's just see if I got it straight. Right, watch this when I put this in front of the ordinary fan. As you can see, it's turning and there's not much airflow from that fan at all. That is very good, considering it's only getting free flowing air. It's just basically like being in the wind outside. I'll back out a bit. Have to be quite close though. But if we get multiple stages, and it actually works pretty well, a lot better than the other one, which I compared it with. If I get the other one, which is this thing with the, oh, let's see the difference with this one. Oh, I need to make a mark on it so you can see it. So I'm gonna put a little red mark or blue mark on there so you can see it. Right, I'm going to see the difference with this one. It's not hardly moving if you look, there's hardly any movement. Well, we have to get pretty close to see anything. Really close. And then it starts to go. But this one, we can be right out here. obviously if we get closer it speeds up. But what I'm showing you is I'll just stop it with my finger. It'll start up from here, about here. There's more surface area. I'm not as close with this. There's about 4 inches between me and the fan with that one. So that one is working better than this one. I have to get really close. Let's stop it. It actually works quite well in the middle because there's a thing on the fan here. There's a dead spot. So it does seem to work better in the middle on this one. I have to get closer though. Let's stop it. That's weird. Anyway, so anyway, I decided to go with these. This particular design is, I've decided with these, I should need less of them. See if is it still balanced? It's still balanced, look. Not far off. Let's start with this one. Oops. Hang on. With this one, I don't need to be near the centre because it wants to capture all of the air. If I go near the centre, that dead spot is negative on it because it's where the way the fans blades are arranged. Actually works better on the edge. This one. So anyway, that's my observation. So I'm just gonna let this dry slowly, evenly, so it doesn't warp on me. I'm just trying to center the bearing on there so it dries evenly when it's on here. Anyway, that's what we have at the moment. It's a bit of a... It's a little bit of a boring job having to basically... Oh, I'm trying to get the phone out now. Having to balance every single one of them. Oh, this phone's getting red hot. Hang on. Right, but it's worth it because obviously balance is important. So we'll see where we are when I get enough of these done. That one is the old design, the new design is here. So I've basically started from scratch with these. So I've only got 3 of them and I've got 4 of them. So I'm going to have to print another 9 of these canopies and stators and everything else. The canopies, the actual outside drums, they can take 5 hours to 6 hours. Oh, I think it's 5 or 6 hours. Anyway, it takes a long time to print them, so it's, yeah, it just takes, basically I'm doing one a day, so you can expect 9 days of that. Plus I've got to print some of these and some of those. So those take about 4 hours to print. These take about 5 hours, well, 4 hours. Depends on some of the newer designs. I'm going to be printing these a little bit taller, so there's more surface area for the air to engage with. So anyway, it just takes a lot of time. Anyway, thanks for watching.